So on screen here is a fidget squish. My friend Karen came up with this pattern for us, and it looks like a pocket, and there's a bulge right here because there's a bead on the inside of this thing. So it's a closed circuit here, and as you squish on it, you can feel the ball. So the ball's right here, and you squish it and it bounces and it goes somewhere else, and you can find yourself being kind of entertained with this. There's people that have ADHD, very similar to Karen and I, where you have a hard time sitting still, and this would be one of those distractions that is kind of something that you can make. We are recommending 100% cotton yarn like Lily Sugar and Cream for something like this. It's washable and it's something that you can enjoy. Let's jump right into this pattern right now. To begin, we're using an F size 4mm crochet hook with their Lily Sugar and Cream. It's just called Pink Rose, I think, is the color. So what we want to do is we want to chain 15. 1, 2, 3, 14, and 15. Let's begin row number 1. To make the fabric not so holey, we're going to use the crunch stitch. We're going to go second chain from the hook. So just, this is the first, this is the second. Grab the back hump of the chain, and we're going to single crochet. The next stitch will be a double crochet into the next chain. And we're going to alternate between these two stitches all the way down. So the next one, it's got to be a single crochet. And then the next one after that is a double crochet. So I want you to repeat this all the way down. The very last stitch will be a double crochet. So just single, double, single, double. I'll be right back. So in alternating between the two stitches, the last one should be a double crochet. So here's the neat thing about this pattern, is that because of the way I had you started, whenever you start a new row, it'll always be the same regardless of what row you're on. So when you start a new row, this is number 2, you chain 1 and you single crochet the first. So the single is technically sitting on the double crochet below. So the next one then has to be a double crochet, which is sitting on top of the single. And a lot of clothing by Yarnspirations is actually done with this stitch, which closes it off and gets rid of those lines in crochet and makes it more fabric looking. So the next stitch has to be a single, and so the next stitch has to be a double. And when you go all the way down in doing this, the last stitch will always be a double crochet because of the stitch work. So we have a single and a double. So if you're going to say it in your head, I'd go single, double, and then make your way to the end, and I'll be right back in a moment. So I'm coming all the way down to the end. And so it's a double right in the last one because that's what you're alternating to. So when you turn your work, you're going to chain 1, single into the first, and then double. Now it goes single, double, single, double. And you're going to do that now until you can measure 5 inches from this point to approximately up here. So if you look at a finished one, it's approximately 5 inches. And then from there, we're going to take you there and make sure you have a bead ready or something to put inside that won't catch on the yarn and can slide nicely. Once the body is approximately 5 inches, you can make it smaller or bigger, whatever you prefer. What we're going to do is we're going to slip stitch ourselves back halfway through. So just pick up the work and let's slip stitch back. So just go into the next stitch and just slip. And what we want to do is that we don't want to necessarily change the color at all, unless you really want to, but I want to just continue with the same yarn for the entire fidget. Okay, once you're about halfway back, we're then going to fold it. You can fold it in any direction because this is a double-sided pattern. So I'm going to fold it this way. And I'm going to keep the bead really close to me so that when I get to the end, I'm just going to slide it to the inside. And all I want to do now is trace the exterior of this and just capturing both layers at the same time and just going to single crochet them into position. If things are too loose, then the bead will fall out. So you just want to be a little cautious on that. On the corners, when you get there, you want to place in 3 single crochet into it. So you're going through both layers and do 3 single crochets into the same one to allow it to do the 90-degree turn. You see me struggling a little bit. I'm having a hand issue, but also you really don't want this thing to be really loose either, because you want to, whoever's going to fidget, right, they're going to really be pliable with it. So when you go through down the sides, make sure you go and don't capture a whole gapping space. Go right into some chain work on the sides and go through both layers, and then you're going to go all the way to the end of this. And before you seal this at the end, we're going to plop in a bead. So I'll meet you at this corner in just a moment. When you get to the corner, apply 3 single crochet into the turning. Now you don't need to weave in this tail here because it started off with a slip knot. So what you can just do is just put it on to the inside. Also, what you want to do, you can decide how many beads you want to do. 1 is probably good. And the beads that I have here are approximately about 1/2 inch in diameter. So if you want a bigger one, you can just do that and just put it on the inside of this tube. So when you're squishing on this, you can feel it and you're moving it down, back and forth. So you want to continue then to seal it through. So you might want a bigger bead and have to make a decision based on what you have in your house. So somebody can feel that it's in there for sure. And then what we want to do is take our time and just fasten this off. So we're just going to use our scissors. And recommend highly that it is a tapestry needle that will do that. So just pull it on it and put it through. And I'm just going to turn it over and I'm just going to jam it through. So just don't put it between the strands. Let it like break apart the strands as well. So because it'll get really stuck that way. And if somebody really is manipulating this, it'll be harder for this thing to fall apart. So go back and forth a minimum of 3 times, depending on the person that will get it, maybe more. And I'll just do 1 for safe measure because I'll donate this one out. And then you're good to go. Okay, so on the inside, I can feel the bead and I can move it around with my fingers. So it's a good little fidget thing you can, will keep you busy. And for people with ADHD like I am, this is something that actually I could see myself fiddling with at nighttime as well. Okay, that's it for today. We hope you enjoy.